This is Schoodic Woods Campground in Acadia National Park on the north side of the bay. This is Loop A. I have not been down here yet, so I have no idea what to expect in Loop A, but we'll soon find out. This side of the park is much quieter than the other side. There is no big city like Bar Harbor or big town like Bar Harbor. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wildlife around here. We really enjoyed it, and the sites are fantastic. That's a host site, so we won't be going in there. This is site A1. A1 is a back-in site. I believe all of them on A are back-in sites. You can see how large that site is. It has power and water, 50, 30, 20 amp. The sites are very large here. This is site A2. So far all the sites I've seen have been pretty level. This one's a little bit off side to side from the picnic table toward the power, but with the trailer, he's only got 2 inches under the driver's side and pretty level front to back. This is the trash area for the A loop, identical on the B loop. This is the restroom, and restrooms here are very nice. All the sites here are on one-way roads. Good morning. So you have to make sure you get down the right road as you're coming in. So we'll be doing some of these roads backwards. This is site A3. A3 is pretty level all the way through. Big and open in the back. All the sites here are very private. Some of these trees are planted, but they're very dense. This is site A5. It's also pretty level. Slopes a little bit to the driver's front here if you're in something big. This is site A4. A4 is pretty level all the way across. They didn't have any issues there with their Class C, and it would work with just about any rig. As you can see, the sites here are well spaced, and you aren't going to need to be concerned about spacing or getting into them. They're easy to get into. I have to back up and see which one this is. This is A6. A6, another back end. As I said, all of them on A are back ends. This one is level side to side, seems pretty level front to back, and very spacious and private. This is site A7. A7 slopes a little bit from the road to the back. Don't think you'd have a problem with anything in there. All these sites have, in addition to power and water, they have fire pits and picnic tables. Of course, you need to buy firewood here. They don't allow you to bring firewood in. We're going to have to walk past these to see what they are because I haven't been on this loop, so I don't know what the numbers are. So this is A23. A23 slopes a little bit up toward the road. Pretty level once you get into it, and you should be okay with most rigs there. You can see the firewood on the picnic table there. Site A22, it slopes down toward the road. You can see where the car is parked there. It's pretty level there, but if you were in any more than 25, 30 feet here, with a drivable rig, you'd have issues. With a towable rig, you should be able to get in there with just about anything. So this is actually the exit road from the loop. So we're going to go up here and come back down that one later. This site is level all the way through, very spacious. Once you get into it, as you can see, the woods there are very thick. It's site A39. This side of the park tends to have probably more bikers and hikers in it. Not that there's not a lot on the other side, but this side is a lot more wilderness kind of stuff. This site is pretty level all the way through, slopes just a little bit to the front, and I think you'd be fine with anything in there. This site is also level all the way through. Again, nice and spacious in the back. The one on the left here is A38. The one on the right is A37. So I think we can probably assume the one coming up on the left is A36. And pretty level all the way through. As you can see back there, these sites are very large. They're exceptionally long. Right where the truck is parked, it slopes down toward the road, but you should be okay in there with anything drivable up to about 30 feet, and towable, just about anything would work. And that was A36. This is a trailhead for bikers. They do not allow class 2 or 3 electric bikes in here, so this site slopes from the road toward the back. Probably best for a shorter rig like what's in there. It's site A35. This is A33, pretty level all the way through. You'd be okay with any rig in there. This is site A34, and pretty level all the way through. This is site A32. A32 is level and deep. Very good for privacy, easy access to the hiking and biking trails. This is site A30. A30 is level all the way through, has a little bit of a bend in the back. So you may have noticed that they were backed in a little funny there. This is the bathroom again. And now I'm lost, but we'll figure it out. This side is pretty level all the way through, dips a little bit on the driver's side front here. Again, 30-35 feet drivable, you'll be fine. This is site A30. This site is nice and deep, level all the way through. A little bit low in the front, but should be fine for just about anything. It's site A29. This is site A28. Pretty level all the way through. As you can see, it bends a little bit to the driver's side in the back, but you should be fine with just about any rig in here. If you stay to the passenger side, you'll be able to park your vehicle on the driver's side there without too much issue. This is site A40. A40 is level all the way through, bends to the driver's side at the back. Again, you'd be okay with just about anything in there. This is site A41. A41 is one of the shorter sites here, but you could still fit just about any rig in here, and it's wide enough in the front. If you were in a big fifth wheel, you'd be able to park your vehicle beside it. This is site A42. A42 is one of the shorter sites. It slopes to the front. Tent in there is good. Any towable up to about 35 feet, you'll probably be okay. but it does have one of the larger slopes that I've seen so far. And your front end, if you're 30 feet or more, is going to be probably 10, 12 inches lower than the back end. This is site A43. Slopes a little bit up toward the road at the end. Again, anything 30 feet or less would be great. A44, level all the way through, a little bit shorter again. A45 slopes a little bit up toward the road, about from the front of the car. So if you're in something really long, you'll have a little bit of a problem there if it's a drivable rig. If you're towable, you should be okay. It's probably 4 inches higher in the front than it is at the back. This is A46. A46 is level all the way through. It's on the corner, which is a nice little spot. Very, very private. You can see all the woods back there. And that woods goes on and on and on. So you're very secluded there. This is site A48. A48 is level all the way through. Nice and wide site. Again, backs up to a very nice quiet woods. This is A47. A47 is level all the way through. It is an inside site, so there are campers behind you there, but really not that bad. This is A49. A49 is pretty level all the way through. Slopes a little bit to the driver's front here, but good for just about any rig. This is site A50. A50 is a little high in the front here. If you're in something really long, you may have an issue with this one, but anything 30 feet or less, 35 feet, you're probably going to be just fine. So, as I said, these are all one-ways. So, when you come out, it's all pulling onto this same main loop that we just walked. Restrooms again, and as you can see, they're very convenient here. So we've already done the sites that are coming up, and we're going to just walk past them. I'm not going to make much commentary on them at this point, and I'm not going to cut the video just because it's kind of a pain. There's also a group camping spot here. The group camping spot allows larger groups to tent camp. I don't know if that has power or not, but it is farther back behind the B loop. Camp here is laid out very well. You have good access in and out. If you're going to go to Bar Harbor, it's roughly an hour and 10 minutes from here. So here we are going backwards again, so I don't know the site number right off, but this site is long and level. Lots of space in the back, good site for kids. This is A27. You aren't going to find even number on the left and odd on the right or the other way around here. The numbers kind of just go in order as you go past the front. So this side is long and level, good for just about anything. It's A26. So this one is most likely A25. Again, big level site all the way through. The ones on the left here are outside loops, so there's really nothing behind you other than woods. The ones on the right are inside loop, so they may have some things behind them. This is, I believe, A24. It's low in the very front, so if you're in a really long rig there, you may have an issue, but I think most things up to about 38 feet would be fine. This site is level all the way up to the back of the tow rig here. it starts sloping up from there. This is site A13. Now as you come into the campground, you're going to see the arrow is pointing, and you need to stay within your group or you're going to have to make a full loop. This is site A14. A14 slopes a little bit up toward the road. You can see they've got a tent in the back and a camper in the front. Really good for that. The back of that site is grassy. This is A15. A15 is pretty level in the back, but about at the middle of that vehicle starts to slope to the front. 30 feet or less is probably what you want to be if you're in there. Again, these sites are very spacious. They all have lots of room. You won't have a problem parking your vehicle off the road or anything here. This is A16. A16 is level all the way back. As you can see, you kind of have a connection with where that Airstream is parked in the back. But a nice site. This is site A17. A17 slopes up a little bit toward the road. You're probably better in a towed rig here. But as you can see, there's lots of space in the back. And if you were in a drivable rig, you would be able to level there. All of these sites like that tend to be 60, 80 feet long, so they'll fit just about anything. This is A18. A18 slopes a little bit toward the front, about where the gravel starts. Probably better for a tent in that one. You'd be okay in a short towed, something in the 25 foot or less range. This is A19. A19 starts sloping toward the road about at the front of the vehicle. But as you can see, they had no problem at all leveling in there. It's level left to right, just a little bit off front to back. This is A20. A20, about where the gravel starts to slope toward the road, but back where the vehicle is parked is nice and level. Again, probably 25 foot there is about what you want. If you start getting longer than that, even with the towed rig, you may have an issue with the jack. This is A21, pretty level all the way through. A little bit shorter, but it's wider. They've done that well here, where they're shorter, they're wider, so it's still easy to fit in a vehicle along with your rig. And I think that is the last of Loop A. There might be one or two as we walk out the exit here, but we've already done A22 and A23. But once we cross this next loop road, we should be into new stuff again. Again, this side I think is probably a little more geared toward recreation in the outdoors if you bring your own stuff. I don't think I've seen anything here for bicycle rentals. Just outside the park there is a canoe rental place, so you could rent a canoe, kayak, something else at that place. But this side I think is just more quiet. It's probably designed more for bring your own stuff. Okay, this is the exit loop. As I said, there's some campsites here as well. This is site A8. A8 is pretty level. It slopes pretty much the same all the way toward the front. We're in a 38-foot motorhome, and we should be able to level in there without any issue. This is A9. A9, about where the Jeep is, starts to slope up pretty good. Back where the camper is, it's pretty level. This is A10. A10 slopes a little bit toward the road, about like A8. Nice and wide, though. You should be okay with just about any towable, but you might have a problem with a long motorhome or long drivable in there. This is A11. A11 slopes up toward the road, pretty much all the way from the back. This is A12. A12 slopes down to the front of the van there, and then much less as you come out. You should be okay with just about any rig in there. And here we are back at the host site. So the host site here is a pull through, and that's where I will stop Loop A.